The following podcast episode contains elements of 3D audio, meaning sounds may appear as if they are coming from all sides. Headphones are recommended and listener discretion is advised. And don't forget to keep listening after the episode for a special bonus scene. Hello, America, and welcome to America, the podcast presents Road Trip, a journey across America. My producer Tim and I made it safely to Georgia and are taking a stroll through the fields of my farm.
Yeah, man, it's so peaceful. What kind of a farm is this?
It is a peanut farm that I purchased from my good friend Jimmy Carter before he became president.
Oh, that's cool. Why did you buy his farm?
Well, Timothy, a long time ago in an America far, far away, if a presidential candidate owned a financial stake in a business, they would have to sell that off before they took the oath of office. Nowadays, you can just sign your business over to your weirdo kids and then get it back when you're done playing president. Needless to say, the 70s were... well, not a better time, but a much different time. Better for me, though. I made a lot of money, and I also was a minor supervillain for a time.
What kind of evil things did you do as a supervillain?
Well, most of the time I tried to turn the water supply of Washington, D.C. into Jell-O. I saw it on the old Adam West Batman and said, well, I gotta try that, and did. I was also a bit mad at Congress at the time for attacking my good friends Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford, and, well, the whole thing just kinda got away from me.
Right on.
I was never successful, mind you. Couldn't really get the water-powder ratio right, and I ended up hanging up my mantle and going to work for a greater supervillain who would simply buy the Gipper.
You mean Ronald Reagan?
Indeed. He was my kind of tyrant, in the sense that he made me offensively rich.
Yeah, well, tyrants aside, this is nice. I mean, walking through a farm, haven't done this in forever. You know, there's no groundhog people, needles in my feet. I could do this for a while.
Mr. Stott!
Is that guy yelling your name?
Yes, that's my valet, Aloysius.
Yes, Aloysius. Telephone for you, sir.
You still have a landline?
I'm a 246-year-old man on a farm in Georgia. What do you think?
Yeah, all right.
All right, America, while we make our way to the house, you can listen to My American Life. It's time for My American Life, a segment where you, the American people, ask me about my American life. Today's question comes from Little Kathy from Savannah, Georgia. Little Kathy writes, Dear Mr. Thebadias, may I have God's phone number? Signed, Little Kathy, Savannah, Georgia. Well, I've been told not to give out Illuminati-level phone numbers anymore, but I don't see a problem with it. Their number is 920-555-0123, and yes, that is an Oshkosh, Wisconsin area code, and the reason is a long story. But just remember, if you call God, they will talk to you for an hour about the Golden Bachelor, and you could hang up, but then you're the person who hung up on God. I'm just saying, don't make the same mistake I did. This has been My American Life. Riveting stuff, as per the usual. No, Roberta, I was talking to my audience. Okay, so I need to... Okay, well, then you enjoy your trip. Okay, goodbye. That was Roberta Gordon, embodiment of an only hope for Georgia.
Oh, cool. Are we gonna meet up with her?
No, we are not.
Well, are you gonna explain why?
Indeed I will, after this commercial. We'll be right back.
America the Podcast is brought to you by Scented Candles. Scented Candles. Fill the air in your home with chemicals and then wonder why your allergies are so bad.
And we're back, America, and I just got off the phone with Roberta Gordon, embodiment of an only hope for Georgia.
Yeah, and are you gonna explain why we're not gonna go and see her? I mean, I thought that was the whole point of this.
Indeed. However, Roberta has been out of the country on vacation for the past year and did not vote in the embodiment ceremony. When she heard that I was looking for her, she called ahead to let me know that she had used a proxy.
Oh, right on. Well, who's her proxy?
Well, ironically, we are standing in his former home.
Oh shit, it's Jimmy Carter?
Indeed.
Right on, man. Well, wait a minute. If Roberta called you, then why can't we just call all of the embodiments and save ourselves this road trip?
Are you not having fun?
Oh, no, it's not that. I mean, you'll just get your money and power back faster.
Well, indeed you are correct. I also indeed thought of this first. However, I do not have access to the Illuminati directory anymore, and I don't have any of their numbers in my cell phone.
Whose numbers do you have?
Well, your number for podcasting purposes, the deep state main line for, well, deep state purposes, the congressional main line for lobbying purposes, and the phone number for Pat Benatar. I try and keep in touch from time to time, but she does not respond.
Dude, it's been 35 years. You gotta let her go.
I know. It's just hard, Timothy. I'll never forget the week Pat and I spent together back in 1985. She made me feel feelings. Ugh. Anyways, let's just choose a car and drive to Jimmy Carter's house. While we do that, you can listen to
Great American Facts!
On today's Great American Facts, I shout at you about the great state of Georgia. The great state of Georgia was the headquarters for the civil rights movement and home to Martin Luther King Jr. There is no joke here, just my, and by extension, America's eternal gratitude for the hard work the civil rights activists accomplished then and still accomplish to this very day. God bless each and every one of the people fighting daily for equality and equity for every human being. Roswell, Georgia was the first town with telephone service back in 1901. That story was supposed to be the basis for the show Roswell on the WB back in the 2000s, but Katherine Heigl pushed for a sci-fi element. I personally think a turn-of-the-century drama about telephones would have been better and more in line with what the youths would have wanted, but I guess we'll never know. Coca-Cola was invented in Atlanta, Georgia in 1886, and let me tell you, it was much better then. I don't remember why it was so good. I do remember having a ton of energy after drinking the original recipe. Maybe they'll bring it back someday. Maybe call it New Coke. Marble from the great state of Georgia was used to build the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., as well as many state capitals across the country. Several of my homes also use marble from the great state of Georgia, but it was marble that I personally stole from the Lincoln Memorial many years ago. What? I needed marble for my coffee tables. Abraham won't mind. He's too busy hunting vampires. Sandy Springs, Georgia is home to more Fortune 500 companies per capita than any other city in America. I myself keep offices for a few of my companies there, but like most billionaires, I keep the headquarters for each one of them in the Caribbean. They're mostly just telephones in various outhouses, so don't tell the IRS. I'm just kidding. The IRS is fully aware and allows it to happen. God bless the American corporate tax system. The first gold rush was documented in northern Georgia, an area originally occupied by Cherokee natives who would subsequently have their land and resources, like gold, stolen from them by the U.S. government. Yes, some great American facts are actually great sad American facts. We need to teach critical race theory in schools in America. Your children will be better for it. According to the nerd language known as math, the great state of Georgia could fit inside the great state of Alaska 11 times. I myself have petitioned the American government to attempt this feat many times, but I keep getting told that, quote, Georgia is a swath of land and cannot be physically moved. And to that I say, pshaw, just get a few guys to lift with their backs. I'm sure we can move the state across the country and through Canada and see if Georgia can fit inside Alaska simply to appease my American curiosity. Named after Nancy Hart, Hart County is the only county in Georgia named after a woman. So congratulations, Hart County. You've done your part for womankind everywhere. At this rate, the Equal Rights Amendment will be ratified in, 10,426 years, give or take a century or six. Atlanta, Georgia is home to more than a few famous rappers like Killer Mike, CeeLo Green, Childish Gambino, Gucci Mane, Ludacris, and the members of Outkast. I myself tried my hand at the rap game back in the 1990s, but was shunned by every single artist when I released my first single, Hey Guys, Ronald Reagan was pretty neat if you were a rich guy like me. But alas, Killer Mike will still not return any of my phone calls for a collab. This has been Great American Facts! Riveting stuff as per the usual. All right, America, we are back and we are driving a 1985 Consular GTP. Why did you have to choose a car from that year?
I didn't know it was from 1985. I just thought the car looked cool.
Well, it is cool, but that doesn't change the fact that I will now be thinking about my lost love Patricia all the way to Jimmy's house. I need something to take my mind off of this. Money. All right, America, you can listen to this commercial and feed me money to cheer me up. We'll be right back.
America the Podcast is brought to you by Getting Blackout Drunk in Your 20s. Getting Blackout Drunk in Your 20s. You'll pay for it in your 30s, or you'll keep going and die in your 40s or 50s. Your body, your choice.
And we're back, America, and you do not need to search me there, Agent Chesapeake. My God. Well, America, we're here at President Jimmy Carter's ranch being searched by the Secret Service. My God, there is no gun in my butt. No gun. And I also mildly outrank the former president as the embodiment of an only hope for America. Hey, there's no need for this. Anyways, America, I guess while we get searched, Tim's getting strip searched, by the way, you can listen to a segment about state slang. It's time for Slippin' Into Slang. Slippin' Into Slang? That is absolutely not funny, and I don't like it. And I don't like you. Yes, you in the back. I don't like you. What's your name? David? Well, I don't like you, David. It's not called Slippin' Into Slang. It's just a segment about slang from Georgia. Our first slang term is quit being ugly, which means to change your attitude or behavior. And I think I will start saying that to my writers so they will behave and write better jokes. Our next slang term is brick, which refers to a measurement of time and also to drugs, but that is a separate thing. Our next slang term is buckethead Betty, which refers to a typical soccer mom and, let's face it, a Karen if you are also picturing the same picture I am picturing in my head. This last slang term is get to gettin', which means it's time to go, and I guess it's also time to gettin' for at least half of my writers. Half of you are fired. I do not like any of you. None of this was funny. Riveting stuff as per the usual. Well, America, I have a person who would like to say hi to you all. Say hello, Mr. President.
Hello, America. It's good to talk to you.
Indeed it is, Mr. President. Well, seeing I know you probably have a house to build or something, I won't keep you long and I will cut to the chase. Did you, serving as the proxy for the embodiment of an only hope for Georgia, vote for me in this year's embodiment ceremony?
Oh, I did. Happy to. You keep a farm going.
Well, that is indeed good to hear, Mr. President, and your farm is indeed still in good hands. Well, Timothy, I guess he voted, so it's on to Connecticut.
Connecticut? Okay, well, then should we get going?
Oh, we're not in any rush, and I would like to pick President Carter's brain about a few policy issues I'm currently lobbying, and, okay. Well, he's asleep, and, well, then I guess we're gonna go. All right, America. Oh, wait, sorry. All right, America. Don't forget to follow the show on iTunes or subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Leave a 5-star review to help the show, and don't forget to follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at America the Podcast, as well as Twitter at America the Pod, and me personally at Bastard Comedy.
One term.
And we need to sneak out of here before waking him up. I do not want the Secret Service to be going up my butt again. I save that kind of thing for the weekends. Thanks for listening, America, and I will be in your ears again next week. Good night and good fight.
Wow, meeting Jimmy Carter was cool, except all the cavity searches. Like, my God, it's like he wanted to be in our butts.
I'm positive he did. But yes, I've been friends with Jimmy and Rosalind for quite a while. He's a fantastic person, albeit not the best president, but he was anti-apartheid.
Oh, that's awesome. It's great that apartheid finally ended.
Well, that's not entirely true.
What are you talking about?
Well, have you not heard of Israel and Palestine, or are you just willfully ignorant?
Well, not willfully, but I definitely don't know enough on the subject to talk about it.
It's fine. I'm sure Israel and Palestine won't be the subject of any news stories in the coming months. What day is it, by the way?
It is December 6th, 2022.
Ah, very good. We should probably stop and do a War on Christmas episode. What do you think?
Well,
Just kidding, I do not care. All right, America, we're gonna go stop and do a War on Christmas spectacular, and then the continuity of this show will pick up immediately after.
All right, well, where are we going after that?
Why, we're headed to the great state of Connecticut.
Oh my God, it's Connecticut!
You've been listening to America, the podcast presents Road Trip, a journey across America. The show stars Tim Philippi and Theb starred the embodiment of and only hope for America as themselves. Additional voices heard in this episode were provided by the wonderful cast of voice actors listed in the show notes. Writers for the show include Tim Philippi, Andrew Turner, Alana Matos, and Theb starred. The show's theme song is by Timmy Two Step, and all other music and sounds heard in this show were procured through the sources listed in the show notes. Road Trip, a journey across America is mixed and edited by Tim Philippi at Shway Media Studios in Austin, Texas. Executive producers for the show are Alana Matos, Tim Philippi, and Theb starred. All characters portrayed in this show are completely fictional. Any similarities to persons alive or dead or any other copyrighted material is completely coincidental. I don't see why I had to say any of that.
It's because we don't want to get sued.
And therefore, we have to tell the world that Phineas Fickleby is Phineas fictional.
Pretty much.
Well, I don't like any of that. Where was I? Ah, yes. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com and americathepodcast.com. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
This has been a production of Shway Media, all rights reserved. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com.